And bend the knees back up. And bring the knees down to one side, head in the opposite direction, arms out to the sides, and just staying there for a moment. We're going to bring the arm over, but just temporarily to bring it straight up and over into a circle, down towards the leg, back towards the other arm, and then reverse down towards the leg, out to the side and forward, rolling onto your back again, straight over to the other side, just the knees to start with, head in the opposite direction. Again, roll the arm forward and then up and round and forward and then reverse. I've got my baggiest joggers on today, I just hope you can see what my legs are doing. You girls know what you're doing anyway, so bring the arm back across and the knees back up. Okay, so just adjust yourself onto the mat, let's rock the pelvis forward and backwards, and every time we press the back in, we're going to just begin to bring that pelvic floor up. Also breathing out as you press the back down, and get some more than 30% core engagement. Just by pressing the back down, you can put your fingers on your belly and you feel how tight it goes as you press the back down. Breathe in, come forward, breathe out, press down. Lovely. Okay, we don't really need to do glute stretches or anything else, not really, but we will just bring the leg up, do a bit of a hamstring stretch, just because we will be bringing the legs up and down. Rotate the ankle as you bring the leg back down, other side. And again, as you loosen off that leg, just rotate the ankle coming down. Just twist the head side to side and do some snow angels, really reaching behind, circle the arm round and then reach behind, circle the arm round. One more, and then when the arms are back down at your side, just lift them parallel to the floor and then up towards the ceiling, and then you're just going to come up, just lifting the tops of the shoulders with the arms coming forward. You can have a hand underneath your head if that hurts. You're just warming up the core. So bring the arms halfway back, bring them up to the ceiling, and then just lift the tops of the shoulders. You're using the core. Lovely. Okay, now keeping the arms up towards the ceiling, you're going to bring one leg into tabletop when you've switched the core on 30%. Press the back down and bring the second leg into tabletop. Just simply going to stretch the legs up towards the ceiling, straight, push the back down, feel the core, and then bend the knees. Make sure the knees don't come into the chest. And again, straighten, reach the ceiling, and bend. Breathe out through the mouth, quite a forcible one, so you feel the diaphragm, and inhale, bringing your knees back. Okay, now when the legs come up, we're just going to lift the head and the arms forward, and then bring the head down and back to how we were. Okay, so lift the legs up, arms come forward. If that hurts your head, please just put one hand behind your head. Or you could keep the head down as we were before. Okay, now keep your head up, bringing one leg down and up. Again, you can have one hand behind your head. The leg doesn't have to come very low. The arms are slightly forward rather than up. So have your arms coming forward a bit more, Jackie. That's it, so here, darling. It's really tough, I know. So bring the head down and just bring the knees in and rest for a moment. And twist the head side to side. Okay. So, bring the legs back down to the mat. Just remember you can stretch them whenever you like. We're going to come back into a double tabletop. So keeping the back in neutral, bring one leg up, core switched on, and bring the other leg up. This time what we're going to do is we're going to come up, but the legs are going to be quite far down as if we're about to do a 100. So the knees come back to a double tabletop, and then you come up with the arms forward. And once more. And then beat the arms 10 times for me. If the legs coming forwards too much, have them up towards the ceiling or in a double tabletop. Okay, so up to you, whether you have them like that, like that, like that. Okay, bring the head back down, arms up, legs double tabletop. And again, roll up, look towards your knees. And double tabletop, head down. And the last version, again, feel free to have one hand behind your head, is coming up, legs up, and then you're doing a double leg lower. Now at the moment, because of my hip, I can't come down very far with my leg lower. Okay, and if that's too much, go back to one leg. So one hand behind the head if you need it, or you can have both hands behind the head, or you can do a double leg lower with your head on the floor. The slightly easier way of doing a double leg lower is to come down, bend the knees, and then back up. So legs straight down, knees in, and up. Attempt 2 more. And rest the head down. Have a full body stretch, girls, and twist the head side to side. Alright, similar to what we've just done, we're going to do a double leg lower, but your head's going to stay down and we're going to circle them back up. So both legs come straight down and then they circle. So let's put our hands underneath our backs. We've done an awful lot of work with those legs. So I'm going to have a diamond shape around my coccyx, and that's pushing my lower back into the mat. Bring the knees in one at a time. Alright, so if you were going to do it the gentle way, your knees are bent slightly, you're going to come just slightly down and then circle both legs out and back. So you come down, circle, back to the top. All the legs are straight, coming lower down and slowly circling back up. Or to make it harder, your hands aren't underneath your bottom. Or your head can be up with your arms parallel again. Let's reverse that now. So you're going to circle down and straight back up. Now remember what I said earlier, it's easier to come back up by bending the knees in and then up. So you can circle down, bend the knees in and up. I'm going to do 2 more, so that's my second from last. Last one. And bring those knees in. Gosh, I don't know why it feels so hard this morning. It really does. I feel so stiff. I don't know if it's from yesterday. Right, so flex and point the feet. Okay. We're going to just bring the arms forward again. So you're just coming up, your legs are staying long, and then with your head up, you're going to circle the arms backwards, forward, and bring the head down. Okay, so you bring the arms up towards the ceiling, you just curl the neck forward, keep the head there, circle the arms back and forward and come down so the arms are up. We're going to do 2 more. So don't strain the neck, I'm kind of looking at windowsill height. Last one. And down. Okay, twist the head side to side, girls. Bring the legs back up. Play a familiar one now. We're going to keep the head down again, and you can pop your hands under your bottom if necessary. Bringing one leg up and then the second, or do it one leg if your back's had enough. We're going to do toe taps. So you can come halfway like that, keeping that lower leg at a 90-degree angle. Or if you wanted, this is going to be the last one on the back, you can do a crisscross. So I'm going to pop my hands behind my head, come up. So I'm going to cross to one knee and then the other one does a toe tap and then straight to the other. So either carry on with toe tap or do this one. The toe tap doesn't have to come all the way down, it can come halfway. These are really hard, especially if you're trying to get the toe all the way down on the other side. Let's do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Okay, rock side to side. Well done. Okay, both feet back down on the mat then, just coming over onto your side and coming up to sitting. Now I'm actually feeling that in my back. I don't know why I'm struggling this morning, but I am. So I'm going to switch what I was going to do. I'm going to do it on all fours next because that'll give us a chance to do a cat-cow and stretch our backs out. So if you need to have a drink or you need a bit more of a break, then just join me when you can. Getting into our position, knees under hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Push the shoulder blades down the mat, down your spine, arching the back. Let the head drop, and we're going to stay there for 3, 2, 1. Spine in neutral, dip the other way. We're going to push back towards the knees, curl under and arch to come back up onto all fours. Push back with the bottom up and arch back. Okay, curling the toes under. I want you to see if you can come up into a down dog from this position. You may need to adjust your knees. So you're just going to push up with your bottom up in the air, upside down V, head between the arms. If you can, shift the weight to one side and lift a leg. Don't have to do that one. Bring the foot down. Other side. Well done. From there, you're either going to come back down onto your knees or you're going to do a baby plank for me. So remember, baby plank is the one where you're hovering the knees above the mat. And my job is a baggy, so it may not look like I am. I'm going to throw in something else here. You don't have to do it because it's hard. You're going to tap one foot back, bring it in. Tap the other back, so one knee's hovering, one leg comes back. And now back into down dog. Well done. While you're in down dog, you can do a leg lift again. You can almost twist out slightly as well to the side, bringing your hip round. And the other side. And then back down onto your knees, all baby plank. And if you're able, one foot back, come back in. Other foot back, come back in, onto the knees, make the knees wide, push back into child's pose. And just bend the wrists backwards. It's hard on the wrists, no matter how strong your core is. Just stay in child's pose for just a second. All right, rolling back up. Let's come on to our knees. I think my head's going to be cut off there. So yeah, just come onto your knees. We're going to do the dips to the side because I want to work our waist and our obliques, every bit of the core. All right, and if knees are hurting, you can do all of these standing. So we'll start then with one leg out to the side. And you know, normally we do this. If you're up for it, we're going to have the hands on the temples today and you're going away from the leg that's out. So just coming over just to where it feels comfortable and squeeze back up. And that you really will feel these today, so just do what you can. That's why I'm saying do them small. You don't have to dip very far, but look out for keeping the shoulders back, not curling the elbow down, and squeezing the opposite side to come back up. So it's this side that pulls me up. Lovely. Okay. Change on the next one. Dip, stretch the top arm, back to the temple, up. dip, stretch. Changing again, both arms. Ooh. If you don't like that, stick to one arm or no arms. Another change, you're going to twist to look at the mat. Again, just a small twist if that hurts, so just a tiny twist down and up, because we're bending and twisting the spine. It can be dodgy if you're not careful, so just do it a tiny amount. And last one with the arms stretched. Come back up and bring the arms back down. Brutal, eh? So hula hooping. Just loosen off that waist, well done. Roll the shoulders. And let's put the other leg out, ready to do the other side. Okay, so shake your arms as well. And if it gets too much arms up here, just go back to sliding the arms. All right, so arms back in position, shoulders back, elbows back, dip, squeeze the opposite side to pull yourself back up. Think about having that core on to help with the lift, and also tall through the crown of the head, shoulders down despite the fact you've got your elbows up. Next one, we're going to stretch the top arm. And again. Now both arms. You can go slower than I am or quicker. That's the last one like that. Now we're going to dip, twist that top arm just slightly and up. Look slightly down. And again. Oof, one more of them. And final one, stretch the arms and either put them back to your temples or try and squeeze up with the arms up. We will feel that one, that's for sure. Oof. And then stick the hips forward, like, oh, good game. And then stick your bottom out. And again, forward and back. And squeeze side to side. Shimmer. Okay, then we're going to sit. Oh, I'm knackered. I am knackered. All right, just roll forward into a tight ball, stretch through the back, into a spine stretch. Either have your legs straight or slightly bent. Just staying like this for a moment, because we're going to come into half roll downs, and you can either have your arms forward like we normally do, or the challenge is to have them Cossack, because you've only got half of the help that your arms give you to stay up. So if they were long, you're going to do the normal sitting up tall, tilting the pelvis, shoulders down, and come halfway like that, and come up. And even though you may have your arms in Cossack, keep those shoulders down. So please don't sort of do this, have them right down, and then you can just do either a pelvic tilt or come back further, but you can feel how much harder they are with just half the arm. And as we always do, you can roll over the knees whenever you want. I'm going to do a twist to the side now in Cossack, and to the other side. Come up as much as you need to. I'm going to do another twist. I'm going to do 4, but if you need to come up before I do, then that's fine. One more. Ooh. Poor waist. And up, and just rest over. Deep breath. Okay, coming up again. This time we're going to come into the half roll down. Bring the arms up to tap the forehead and down. Tap, down. Well done, girls. Try not to hunch the shoulders, it's really difficult not to. And come up and over. Okay, let's just finish with a full roll down to come onto the mat. I don't mean finish, I mean just finishing the seated ones in case you get excited. So coming down, nice and slowly. Resting the head on the floor. Bending the knees and just twist the knees side to side. Okay, so keeping the head down, core switched on, bring one knee in towards the chest and then open the knee. So you're in like that frogger position. Okay. Bringing the arms back up towards the ceiling or have one hand behind the head. We're going to go back to that move that we did at the beginning. So your core switch is on. Push the rib down towards the hip to lift the head. It feels so much better doing it, driving it from the core and come down. So don't think about lifting your head. The ribs squeeze towards the hips, and because you're doing that, you lift and down. Now bring the knees together with the arms up, and then when you come up, open the knees as if you're trying to tap your feet, and then squeeze the knees together when your head comes down. Lovely. So open, tap forward, squeeze. We're going to keep our legs squeezed together in a double tabletop. If you need one hand behind your head, we can. We're going to reach across, same side, or you're going to try and do it two arms. You can swap sides, you can do a few, I said the same side, so swap now to the other side. Bring your head down each time. And bring the knees in when you've done a similar amount both sides. Well done. Let's bring those feet back down to the floor. Just open your knees quickly to stretch the inner thighs. And then through the back of your neck, pushing the shoulders down, squeezing them towards each other. Closing the knees back. And bringing your feet hip width apart. Alright, so bring one leg up into tabletop. And the second. And let's squeeze the knees together and the feet. Let's do supine twists. So you're going to come over about 6 inches so that you keep that core control. And then you're pushing the back into the mat, using the core to squeeze the knees back to centre. Over to the other side. And centre. Okay, so your legs are in tabletop. That's it. So bend the legs a bit more, Jackie. That's it, darling. Alright, I'm going to add on to this. So come back to the middle. You're going to stretch the legs up towards the ceiling and bend. Come to one side, stretch the legs, bend, push to the middle, stretch, bend, other side. So you're just doing a stretch every time you move the knees. But don't just kind of do it willy-nilly. Really think about squeezing that core, reaching the feet right up. And to finish off the whole session, I've got one more challenge, right? So you can bring the knees in if you want while I just show you. So each time you stretch the legs up this time, I'm going to have my arms here. I'm going to bring my head and arms up. Then I'm going to do a twist. And I'm going to still come to centre and down. Now they're hard, right? Okay, so the legs come over. And one arm each side of the legs. So it's what we did at the beginning, but with the legs coming over. Or you could just do it with the legs bent. Alright, you wouldn't need to stretch the legs up, you just have them bent, coming up. bring the legs down one at a time. When you're finished, well done. And full body stretch. I definitely want to have some stretches in a different position. So let's roll over onto our front. And rest the head on the hands. Okay, lengthen the back of the neck. Wiggle the bottom side to side to loosen the lower back. Bring one leg or heel towards your bottom, and then you press the hip on that side into the mat. You can get a hold of your ankle if you want more of a stretch. Press that hip down. Ow. Our legs have been in the other direction for so long, we need to just hold this, opening the hip flexor. Lovely. And bring that leg down. Switch over. Oh, so bring the leg back first and then ease the hip down if you can. It's quite excruciating, but to lengthen the abdominals, because they've been contracted, we're going to do a cobra, but I'm doing it very gently because my back's feeling it. So my hands forward of the mat and quite wide, and I'm going to curl up from the bottom of my spine first without even helping myself, and then push the last little bit. So I'm quite low. I'm just going to stay there for a moment, let my back get used to it. And that elongates all the abdominal muscles to release them. Come back down. Slide the hands a bit further. Climbing back up, maybe a little bit more this time. And again, coming down and slide them a bit closer towards you again. Last one is come up. And just drop the head a little bit, neck long, and come down. Pushing onto all fours, into the arch, into the cow, and back to neutral. Squeezing the hip to the rib, and centre, and the other side, and centre. And then doing some pelvic circles. So not pushing back, just staying above the knees, loosening all of that lower back and the waist, and the other way. Knees wide, push back into child's pose. You're sitting towards the heels, head on the mat. Bring the arms round to your sides and palms up. Let the upper back round over the thighs. Taking 2 or 3 deep breaths. And on the next exhale, just push yourself up, but do a half roll up so your head's still down. Then you rebuild through the spine, head floats up last of all. And when you're at the top, let's do some shoulder rolls. Really squeezing back. Just bringing your arms into that beach ball, hug a beach ball position, drop the head, push forward. And then as if you're doing a breaststroke, coming right back and squeezing the shoulder blades again. Forward, rounding the back. Squeeze into breaststroke, pushing back. Once more, round and squeeze. And then let the shoulder blades go down. Twisting head side to side. And then let's tip the ear to the shoulder. And back up. And the other side. And a very small head rotation. So tennis ball size, drop the chin. Very small circle. And again. And then 2 the other way.